Hey, what's up? I'm Guy.
I'm John.
This is our YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. Give this video a like.
Check out the podcast below in the description. Do it now.
As we're recording this video, John, the Cotton Bowl Classic is still going on, but it's over. And Kyle Trask, who came in with a lot of hype, we're going to talk about in this video whether or not his performance in the Cotton Bowl should affect his draft stock. Should be noted, as most people watching this know, Kyle Pitts didn't play, Trevon Grimes didn't play, Kadarius Toney didn't play. As of this video, and we don't have the fourth quarter stats in yet because the game's still going on, Middlecoff, his two leading receivers in this game, the guys that are leading Florida in receiving in the game, combined for like 11 catches coming into the game. So didn't have a lot of production around him. So with that whole setup, you're an NFL scout, which you were. What are you writing into your computer when you get back to the Hilton Garden Inn tonight?
Well, listen, let me preface this by saying I'm not a Kyle Trask fan. Like, he's not my type quarterback. He wouldn't be someone that I would think is like he's a draftable player. But to me, there was hype. First round seems insane, but there was like definitely second day talk. Like, to me, I don't see the physical attributes, but what you can't dispute is coming into the game, he was really, really productive this year, Guy. I mean, he threw 43 touchdowns.
Led the nation.
Last year he was solid.
4,000 yards, led the nation. 45 interceptions coming into the game. Three in the game.
I think where people struggle is because it's big on social media. I'm guilty of this. You're guilty of this. NFL people are guilty of this as they're watching it. Like, oh, that's awful. That's terrible. And the start where he threw a pick six, another pick. I mean, threw three picks.
And then a baby zone pick, we call it.
Yeah, but you can't throw the baby zone picks. Could we rename that a Trubisky? Because he does
or a Wentz.
Yeah,
Wentz throws the baby zone.
Maybe a true Wentz.
We like to call it baby zone if you're new to our channel. Baby zone is when you throw the pick in the red zone.
So I don't think the NFL is going to overreact to this game. They don't. When you think about drafting a quarterback in the top, definitely the first 2 days. To me, you're watching probably minimum all their games of that given season because you've already, like, your scouts have watched previous years, but you're not basing anything on one performance. Now, that being said, like, a good performance can really help him, right? If he would have thrown 5 touchdowns and beat Oklahoma, it wouldn't have hurt. But I don't think the disaster, which was the start, like, that's a disastrous start. If it was a one-game evaluation, he'd be fucked. I mean, he'd be an undrafted free agent.
I give him a little pass on the baby zone pick because he got hit on the arm, but I do wonder, and we talk about this a lot. In fact, if you go back and watch the game, the throw before he throws the pick six, he throws an out to the other side of the field, and the ball gets there, but it takes a while, and that's my biggest takeaway watching him, John. And you've been talking about this. You've been hammering this home for months now, right? The athleticism that you see with Josh Allen, the athleticism that you see with a lot of the young quarterbacks that you don't see, let's say, with Jared Goff, it's only more and more and more valuable in the NFL. And teams are going to be even more staunch about it. I mean, we talk about it all the time with Goff. So he's not an elite athlete. But to me, his arm, he's like this is going to sound like a disrespect to Baker. To me, from an arm strength standpoint, he's like bigger than Baker, but his arm's not any better than Baker Mayfield's. And I don't know if he's quite the playmaker. I mean, we're still trying to figure out what Baker is in the NFL. But, I mean...
Baker's arm's better than this guy.
So if we go back and look at first-round quarterbacks that have succeeded...
this guy has a Matt Ryan-type arm feel to it.
Well,
but you know another red flag on him, Guy? And this is going to get talked about in the draft rooms. He did not start in high school. Now, granted, that guy in high school is not me or you. It's King at Miami, who actually got hurt last night, messed up his knee. But he did not start a game in high school. Like, that's just not nothing. Part of it is, wait, I'm going to draft this guy in the first couple rounds. He couldn't start in high school, and really he couldn't start at Florida for a while. And I think
Felipe
you see
Franks
the reason
was in
why.
front of him.
I mean, honestly, I've watched a decent amount of Florida this year, definitely the last couple games. You see these other guys come in, right? I mean, it's not like, hey, we got our Joe Burrow, we got our Baker. No, we got this other guy who's gonna be kind of sweet. Number 5, we're gonna run some plays for. These are things. If I was anti him, and when I say anti him, this sounds like I'm not into investing a high pick. If you want to take him in the 6th, 7th round and have on your, but that's not the way he's being talked about.
No, he's being talked about like a top 15 pick.
Guy, there is no chance on God's green earth he's going in the top 15. I would never say never, just because a lot of these McVay types just like, because you watch him, you go, well, if I go Matt Ryan's the comp, you go Kyle Shanahan. You know? LaFleur's. But the one thing you saw LaFleur take a more of a project last year in Love. Like, let's use Jordan Love as an example. Unlike Kyle Trask, he was not productive, right? He didn't have a productive year. But he was taken really high because of tools. Like you would.
And he was better. And he was better the year before.
Yeah, I mean, he had success, but this guy's had a ton of success, but he's going to lack the tools. And I think we're kind of at a point right now in the NFL. It does feel like it's leaning toolsy more than I'd say in the sometimes in our life, the way the sport worked. You could, if you have like the Matt Leinart version of what he was in college in the pros, Ken Dorsey, you could function if you had a good run game and good. That doesn't exist. Everyone's trying to light up the scoreboard now. It's like basketball. Everyone's shooting threes, right? In baseball, everyone's hitting home runs.
Yeah. Well,
I just think that it's trending much more athletic, even with the Kyle types that have skewed that way in the past. I think they're starting to kind of feel
types, not Kyle
Shanahan types. Yeah.
I'm with you. I saw somebody earlier in the week kind of comp his numbers to what Joe Burrow's pace would have been. Like Joe Burrow, like basically said the pace
played
was
15
Joe Burrow's
games.
pace. Yeah. And to me, it didn't look watching Joe Burrow play at LSU. And this is again, we'll emphasize what you said. This is not a Cotton Bowl thing that I'm saying. It doesn't look the same watching Joe Burrow play and watching Kyle Trask play. I just pulled first round quarterbacks last 4 years. You tell me toolsy or not toolsy. All right, and meaning above average arm and athletic. Burrow, yes. Yeah. Tua, no.
That's up for debate.
Herbert,
yeah.
Kyler,
yeah.
Daniel Jones,
yeah. I mean, meh. And what is he? He's a meh.
Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, he's toolsy, but he lacked a bunch of other stuff, and it was a disaster.
But he's not he's not an athletic.
No, he's
guy,
not an athlete. He's got a good arm.
To me, he's got like
a better arm than this guy.
He's like a Trask body, but with a better arm.
Yeah.
Baker. Are you giving Baker average arm or plus arm?
I'd give him a above average arm.
I wouldn't give him by much. I'd call it average plus a little.
If he's planted and he's set, his arm's good.
Can you make a throw when you're off platform? He skips a lot of balls.
Well, that's Kirk Cousins' problem, right?
Well,
Darnold, bad athletes' problems.
Darnold at times makes really athletic plays and looks strong-armed, and at other times you and I have watched him and thought there's not as much to his arm as sometimes it looks like.
But he can make off-platform throws, which he can get. That to me is a big deal in the NFL.
Josh Allen, duh. Lamar Jackson, duh. Josh Rosen, no. Trubisky, yeah.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, Trubisky's got tools.
And Mahomes and Watson. So there you go. There's the last 4 years. The guys that have been the most successful of that group are the guys with the best tools for the most part.
If I'm arguing this guy against him, I'm just going, hey guys, Dan Mullen, who now has produced a bunch of NFL guys, and most recently Dak, who gets debated, but at the end of the debate, we have to come to the conclusion, is he worth 35? Is he worth 25? We can argue that till we're blue in the face. He's a legitimate starting quarterback. And the type guys Dan Mullen likes goes back to Tebow, to Alex Smith. He likes athleticism. He would never recruit Kyle Trask. He would not play him like that would not be his guy. And as you see, he's having a historic season right now. Historic season. And guy, it's not just this game. They're constantly doing it because deep down, Dan, he likes the athlete. And it's probably was hard for him, but then Kyle did well. Again, Kyle's had a lot of success.
He's a Heisman finalist.
Player. Yeah, I mean he's if Nick Mullen and C.J. Beathard, he's going to go in the 3rd or 4th round. I wouldn't use a second-day pick on him because I view him as a backup. And maybe he's one of the best backups in the league, but I see a backup. So if I want a backup, I don't truly like taking them before the 3rd day.
I think you could even be more bullish and say maybe he's a starter. But to me, if he's a first-rounder, he's got to be the kind of starter that you'd feel comfortable paying $35 million on a 5th-year option 5 years from now. And I don't see him being that type of player, even if he could become an NFL starter. But the arm strength is, And I was about to text you before the pick six because of the previous throw. And again, these are not new things in the Cotton Bowl. These are just.
But some of the recent second round picks now, like Kaiser, there was another one, Drew Lock, have skewed a little more. Like, let's just take a swing on a toolsy guy. And so I wonder if the tools shove him down a couple rounds.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Honestly, if he's a 4th round pick like Eason was last year, and Eason's the opposite, right? He's a toolsy guy. This guy's a production good player guy. That if going in the 4th round means you get to be like Belichick's backup or the Colts backup, or sometimes it benefits you, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, having to be some shitty team's starting quarterback.
As of the recording of this, we don't know if Davis Mills, the quarterback at Stanford, who's only started like 10 games in his career, is going to come out. But he's more athletic and has a better arm. Like, I would take him ahead of. Now, the problem for him is he's had.
Do people expect Davis Mills to come out?
I don't know. We don't know. His best receiver just declared. He's had 3, John. 3
I got that in my inbox. I didn't know. Is that guy good?
Simi Fehoko?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a really good year. So, I mean, I don't. There are people that. Anyway, this isn't about.
This was a sweet year. It's like if you just went ham, literally. You were gone, and if it didn't go well, you're like, well, I didn't waste a year. I'll come back.
Exactly.
I'll really train this time. It basically like playing poker with money that's not yours, and you get to like take. Yeah, I'll double down.
Do you think? Yeah, I mean, he could come back to school, I guess, but I don't really know. He can't be more productive, and can he change his arm
Davis
strength?
Mills.
Yeah, or Trask. Any of these guys could, right?
Yeah.
But I'm with
Lawrence?
you. I don't. Huh?
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
What if he did like Joe Burrow? Technically, I think could have too. Trevor Lawrence, when the really sweet guy, Kentucky always does this with their freshmen, does senior day. It's like that's what Trevor Lawrence did with all the seniors at Clemson.
Who did that? Somebody did that. Did Clowney? I don't know. It's been. You're right. It's
yeah,
been
guys like
he was like
Clowney.
Basketball. Do it like freshmen. Coach Cal do it like
freshmen.
DeMarcus Cousins, Anthony Davis.
I think the SEC and like the Ohio States of the world do it with like the Bosas. You give them their due. They come out last, even though they're the underclassmen. They're the last senior round.
Oh, all right.
That's the way it works.
Well, we will wait and see. We will wait and see, John.